Hi, I'm Mark Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and hypnosisdownloads.com, and welcome to Overcome Masturbation Addiction, 5 tips to help you diminish compulsive masturbating. Now, this guy, Kevin, I'll call him Kevin, was a client of mine, and he was worried about his masturbation habit. And when he came along to see me, he paused before answering my question. Why do you feel it's a problem? After all, according to reports, most men and women indulge or have indulged in masturbation sometimes. But he told me that it feels compulsive, he said. And it's worse when I'm stressed, and I've even started doing it in the restroom at work. It's as if I can't have an erotic thought or even a stressful situation without feeling I have to go masturbate. Okay, so quite clearly it was causing him a big problem. Rather hoping he wasn't having an erotic thought or feeling too stressed at that point, I considered how attitudes to masturbation have changed over the years. It used to be felt that masturbation was a sin that could cause blindness or stunted growth or hairy palms and even insanity. So people would be treated for masturbation. Sigmund Freud would treat female clients for masturbation, as though it were a psychological disorder. It was thought to drain energy or make people listless and lazy. Sexually stimulating yourself was much more taboo than it is now. For example, in Victorian England, there were even electric devices which would apply electric shocks to the penis if the unfortunate wearer of this device were to stimulate himself. So this device would then sound alarm bells to bring attention to the despicable act being committed. And I'm not sure what would have been worse, the electric shock or the embarrassment. But anyway, masturbation is no longer regarded as an unholy act of self-defile. But for some people, masturbation starts to feel out of control, disrupting normal activities. So, I want to make it clear, some masturbation can be healthy, it can be a healthy outlet, it can, de-stress a person, and it can, sort of keep their sexual instincts together as well if they're not in a relationship. But Kevin really was worried that he was crazy. And he said, isn't that what psychiatric patients do to themselves all the time, abuse themselves at every given opportunity? So I could reassure him that, no mental or physical health problems have been discovered as being connected to frequent masturbation, apart from the obvious risk of soreness. And as far as I know, there is no research conclusively showing that that very frequent masturbation is a sign of any mental or physical disorder, although bipolar patients may masturbate more during a manic phase. Okay, so it may be symptomatic of someone being highly stressed or highly manic. Okay, but generally speaking, there's no such connection. So I reassured Kevin he wasn't going crazy. I suggested that overindulging may indicate a need to relieve boredom, okay, or relieve feelings of physical and mental stress and tension. Orgasm is a relaxant. Relieve other pent-up emotions such as sexual desire for a particular person. And Kevin was relieved, proving that he could feel better without his old prop, and started to recognize why his masturbation had got out of hand, so to speak, which links nicely to our first masturbation control tip. So tip number 1, overcome masturbation addiction by knowing yourself. A constant need to masturbate may represent a lack of physical intimacy or affection in a person's life. So rather than addressing the masturbation itself, it may be helpful, as is the case with any nervous habit, to explore the areas in life that are lacking, of which excessive masturbation may be a symptom, and address those areas. Okay, we all have emotional and physical needs. We all have a need for greater and lesser extent for safety and security in life. So we have the need for the chance to give and receive attention from other people. Feeling connected to community is another important need. We have a need for a sense of status and a sense of achievement, so we can have self-esteem. We have needs to have purpose and goals in life. We need to feel intimate with at least one other human being. Feeling challenged so as to avoid boredom is another need as well. So meeting these needs in your life in balance helps you avoid boredom and a sense of meaninglessness. Okay. And of course, masturbation only provides a temporary fix or escape. To really make your life more fulfilling, you need to address your real needs. So take a long look at your life. Are some of the needs that I mentioned not being adequately met? Could excessive masturbation be masking an unmet need or a desire to escape a boring or stressful environment? Kevin felt lonely, stressed at work, bored, and was hardly ever exercising. When we began to address these issues, he naturally began to masturbate much less as a byproduct. As his social life improved, he literally had less time on his hands to masturbate. Tip number 2, take steps to deal with the habit itself. People often say, very sagely, we must overcome the real reasons, the root of the problem, before the problem itself can be cured. But of course, human behavior and psychology is a system. And if you change one part of a system, other parts will inevitably change as well. So changing a habit can change the root cause. Okay. For example, if someone is masturbating excessively, then this means they have less time to devote, say, to their social life. But if they begin to masturbate less, they have more time and possibly more confidence as they appreciate their new self-mastery. The confidence isn't about not masturbating, it's about being master of the option, okay, choosing whether to or not. That autonomy and independence is what gives us confidence in life. And they have more time to spend on connecting to other people, which is hugely important. You need to take a two-pronged approach. So certainly look at the unmet needs in your life that masturbation had possibly been trying ineffectively to meet for you, but also look at diminishing the actual behavior itself more directly. So what practical steps can you take to start masturbating less often? Number 3, don't be all or nothing about it. You don't have to cure masturbation, as some may even be healthy. But if you feel it takes up way too much of your time and focus, then consciously start to set limits. If you're currently masturbating every day, then start cutting down by a day per fortnight. You're weaning yourself off it. Literally begin to wean yourself from daily masturbation. Tell yourself, right, this week I'm only going to have a day off on Wednesday or whatever day you choose, and then stick to that. Use this day or evening actively trying to meet a basic need that may have been neglected. For example, phone a friend and make plans, go out, do something social, exercise, or revise your CV or whatever it is. Notice what you do instead, but make that promise to yourself, and no matter what that little part of your brain does to try to trick you into doing it, don't give in to it. After 2 weeks, add another day off. Okay. Continue to do this until you're down to a level with which you feel comfortable. If you break your own rules, then make up the day by choosing another day of the week, but focus on the numbers. And don't masturbate twice on one day because you missed it on another day. Okay. And talking of numbers, there are only a certain number of hours in the day. So tip number 4, stay busy, because the devil makes work for idle hands. Okay. And again, I'm not saying that masturbating is sinful or anything like that. But unless we're truly deranged, we need private opportunity to masturbate. Okay. So fill your time with situations in which masturbation would end up as local news material. Book up to see friends, go to the cinema, go outside, go to the local library, all situations in which hopefully you wouldn't be tempted to masturbate. Teach your body not to expect masturbation so often, and it will get the message, and sooner than you think, it will feel more normal to do it less. Actively taking steps to fill up your time may also be a way of diminishing boredom or loneliness, which may have been contributing factors to the excessive masturbation in the first place. Tip number 5, use your brain constructively. New behaviors can be fixed in place by strongly imagining them ahead of time. Work out danger times, times when you would have been more likely to masturbate, on the bus at choir practice. I'm kidding, of course. Now close your eyes and visualize yourself looking as if you might masturbate, then determinedly choosing to do something else instead. So you're teaching your mind how to pull out of the trance of masturbation, so to speak. Observe yourself spending your evening differently. Imagine the feeling of wonderful and powerful self-control, and really focus on that sense, on that feeling of autonomy, self-mastery. Practice starting to respond to the old masturbation triggers, then snapping out of it and feeling liberated. Okay. Some masturbation can be healthy and harmless, but as the expression has it, the greatest pleasure in life is self-control. So I hope you found that useful, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe, and if you want to hear when my next video is published, hit the notification bell below this video. I'm Mark Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and hypnosisdownloads.com, and if you'd like to try some of my personal development products, head over to hypnosisdownloads.com and take a look around. And thanks for watching.